What's up, guys? This is Mike Loris, and I'm going to bring you another game from the International Complexity Gaming versus EHOME. This is the preliminary round. Is it a round of preliminaries? It's from the preliminaries, and it's going to be between the United States Complexity versus the Chinese EHOME. So I'm pretty sure you can imagine what it was like actually for people watching this on stream. Whenever I'm sure there was a lot of USA whenever Complexity did anything right. But we'll see about this game. EHOME picking up the Invoker and Morphling, as well as Complexity picking up the Rubik. Bands looking completely normal, nothing to say about those. And I am running this replay right now on double time because it is getting a little bit late for me, so I think I have to speed through this one, but I just wanted to get one more down. Wow, Complexity picking up 3 support heroes right off the bat. Rubik has kind of been like the thing in the International because he's just simply so versatile, but to Complexity actually picking up the Disruptor as the 3rd pick, I'm sure that is a surprising fact for EHOME, considering the amount of what people would say more viable support heroes that Complexity could have chosen, something like a Venomancer, something like Crystal Maiden, but just support heroes that you see a lot more often. But Complexity, they have 3 heroes who could potentially solo, 3 heroes who are probably going to end up supporting in some way. Disruptor or Rubik might be going for solo lanes, or they might have some weird wonky tri-lane. EHOME, on the other hand, picking up a little bit more of a normal lineup, I would say. Invoker, Morphling, as well as the Venomancer. Invoker is the classic lane control hero. Morphling is the classic carry. Venomancer is the classic support hero. Not to say that Complexity's picks are bad or anything. It's just that it's a little bit surprising seeing, especially the Tidehunter and Disruptor being picked this early. Usually you see the Disruptor if in like the 4th or 5th spot, because it's not really a hero that people consider the other team to pick, and if they do pick it, it's like, oh well, they picked Disruptor, that's great for them. Now let's just proceed as normal, because we don't really have to change our game plan all that much. But Complexity is kind of showing their hand a little bit with this. They look like, to me, they want to lane either a very aggressive tri-lane with those 3 support heroes and then pick up 2 other mid heroes, or they want to have some roaming around, or just split them up. But right now, EHOME is going to pretty much identify what Complexity wants. They're already banning out the Tiny, and Complexity is probably going to aim towards something a little bit aggressive. And by aggressive, I mean farm-oriented, and then aggressive in the late game. I guess aggressive is the bad word to use, since they already have aggressive heroes. They want someone to actually take the farm, because Rubik, Tidehunter, and Disruptor, although they're great with farm, they don't actually need farm to be effective. And EHOME banning out a Shadow Fiend. I don't think that the Complexity wanted to pick up a Shadow Fiend, although with the amount of team fight that Complexity has, I guess, okay, they're going to go for something normal, I guess. They're going to go for Lone Druid. I'm pretty sure they would have went for Lone Druid even if Shadow Fiend wasn't banned, so apparently EHOME knows something that I don't. So Complexity Gaming going to have that carry in their pocket. Now they just need someone else to control the lane, unless they want to have a Rubik or Disruptor lane. EHOME going to pick up the Enchantress, so they do have a little bit of pushing power. They do have that jungler available to them, so it's most likely going to be a Venomancer, Morphling, as well as Enchantress. Dual semi-tri lane going to go on there. EHOME's Invoker is going to be soloing, and then, well, it really depends on what they want to pick up last. But Complexity Gaming, so far they have like a complete utter lane dominance team, and there you go, another lane dominator in the Templar Assassin. So that's what they were going for. They wanted the Lone Druid, they wanted the Templar Assassin, and they wanted it to be a surprise. So TA, Disruptor, 2 heroes that you don't see every game, or I mean like TA, I guess you kind of do, but the combination of those is actually pretty good. If you could get a whole lot of people in the static field, kinetic field, and then static storm, then you could actually potentially line them up for the Psyblades. Line them up, and then that of course makes it do a whole lot more damage. So Complexity Gaming, 3 support heroes, 2 carry, semi-carry type heroes. They are going to be perfectly good to go. And EHOME picking up a Bounty Hunter, going to be most likely on the Suicide lane. So it is going to be the Invoker and Bounty Hunter soloing with the Morphling, Venomancer, and Enchantress. Of course, Morphling does have the ability to go to the mid lane, but it might be a little bit rough for him, because JO's Templar Assassin is nothing to underestimate now. You guys have to look away. Oh, no, you don't. I hotkeyed it this time. That's what I'm talking about. Anyway, on let's go over who is on EHOME and what are they playing. QQQ is on the Enchantress, King J on the Venomancer, Lamb is playing the Morphling with X on the Invoker. X is Invoker, that's scary right there. And Cupid Cat, I believe, is what he's called. It's Cat, so some sort of feline on the Bounty Hunter. On the EHOME side, Fluff and Stuff is on the Disruptor, so he's going to be supporting. TC on the usual hard carry Lone Druid. Jo is going to be playing the Templar Assassin, already going for a very fast bottle. IX Mike supporting on the Rubik, and Hannah Montana on the trademark Hannah Montana hero, the Tide Hunter. Looks like TC and Fluff and Stuff might be dual laning it bot lane. They really could do anything, but Jo is probably going to be looking to solo the mid lane because of that quick bottle. He didn't spend much of his money at all. And it might be a solo hard lane Hannah Montana, but Hannah Montana, Tide Hunter, he's very used to that. He's, like, most of the games I've seen at Complexity, when Hannah Montana is on that long lane, he's, like, he obviously doesn't get a whole lot out of it, because who does? It's impossibly hard. But he survives, and he, more importantly, makes a comeback come later in the game. See where the rune actually is going to spawn. It's going to be on the top lane. Haste rune, no one wants it, so they're just gonna give it to the other team. Already we have a smoke up, wow, from IX Mike and Hannah Montana. They want to go for a very early gank. Unfortunately, I don't think they could actually get him. They do have a telekinesis. Let's have a standoff right now. They're like, are we gonna go? They want to get him on the cliff. That would be amazing for Complexity. But I can't stop looking at this. I mean, like, why would you stop looking at this? Their smoke is running out. They gotta go now or not at all. Oh, they're gonna go. Hannah Montana is revealed. King J instantly picks up that haste rune, and he's gonna slither on out of there. No, he's gonna slither back in. No, he's gonna go for a little bit of harassment. He's gonna take a gush, but it's a haste rune, so he doesn't care about the gush. IX Mike is just gonna simply D-ward, and there you go. Hannah Montana already doing an ancient stack. Yes, he does get it. Anyway, let's go over the lanes. Jo is gonna be playing Templar Assassin versus Lanham in the mid lane with the support of IX Mike, it looks like. So let's actually give me a dual lane versus dual lane. Who's gonna come out ahead? I feel like this lane is actually gonna be pretty even. It's just going to be a matter of how they actually play out with their engagements. Hannah Montana is going to be soloing up against X, so the Tide Hunter is not going to have a fun time there. But of course, on the other side, Cupid Cat is going to be playing the Bounty Hunter versus... Ooh, that was actually a very good move, pulling the creep wave away to prevent that pull. That is going to ensure that the wave pushes down towards their own Tier 2 tower. He's going to take a little bit of damage for it, so it's not without punishment. But by doing that, he ensured that his wave will come towards him. And he's going to keep going also. Fluff and Stuff is just like, hey, get off. I'm just going to right-click you a lot. And that is like the most eloquent way I could have put that, of course. But Fluff and Stuff doing a ton of damage to the Bounty Hunter. Bounty Hunter is completely out of tangos at this point. And these creeps are just going to get chewed up at the tower. Regeneration rune picked up by the QQQ. Already has 2 creeps, so he could go for a very early push. Looks like King J transitioned out of that mid lane, and as did the Rubik. Rubik's IX Mike coming down to the bot lane. Want to shut down Cupid Cat 100%. So it's going to be a complete wash on that bottom, on the hard lanes for each team. Neither team is actually going to get much. There is a Sentry Ward already dropped down, but there's another Sentry Ward from IX Mike telekinesing up the Bounty Hunter, and he's in a lot of trouble now. The True Side is there. Is there enough right click? He's going to get out of this just barely. Is there another Sentry Ward? No, he already used the last one to de-ward. So, wow, this Bounty Hunter's crapping his pants right now. He's very happy that he's alive. Good identification of which way to run to get out of that True Sight the fastest, and he's going to pop his salve and be just fine. Meanwhile, in this mid lane, Morphling is not having a good time. 6 for 3 versus 13 for 7. So Templar Assassin definitely coming out ahead in this lane. Templar Assassin is known, though, for having fierce lane control, despite the fact that she has very low range. Now QQQ and King J looking to go into the Complexity jungle, maybe? No, they're actually going to go to the mid lane. They're going to try to set up on Jo, but Jo has backup. Hannah Montana is here. Hannah Montana has been there the entire time. So if EHOME decide to go in on this, they're going to be in a lot of trouble. Or maybe not. They're just going to be not as secure as they thought they were going to be. Hannah Montana now revealing himself. They want to go for this anyway. The Gale is going to hit only on the Tidehunter. However, Tidehunter is going to take a lot of damage. Jao's going to get the hell out of there. Hannah Montana, you are on your own, sir. And you're going to get taken down by the Venomancer. King J picking up first blood. The Venomancer is going to be very happy about that. Let's see how much gold he has. He's going to get boots. He's going to get a flying courier. No, they already have a flying courier. So he's going to get boots. And that's exactly what's happening. What the hell? Look at all those boots. That was extraordinarily well coordinated. That was actually pretty cool. Corey's going to have his work cut out for him, and Lamb going to get glimpsed back to ensure that Fluff and Stuff gets... No! He actually waveform dodged the glimpse. That was impressive. I mean, like, it didn't really do anything since Disruptor got the rune anyway. But, wow, that was actually really cool by Lamb. Well played, Lamb. Well played. Too bad I didn't actually get the rune. Then it would have been awesome. But then that was just like impressive. If you could tell that I'm impressed by that play. Hannah Montana still level 1, whereas Bounty Hunter is level 3. So Tidehunter getting a lot less out of this long lane than the Bounty Hunter. It's kind of to be expected, considering the fact that, well, Tidehunter is a giant fish, and it's a lot easier to see him than it is to see a hero that could go invisible. So he could just sit around here or like dip in a little bit to try to get a little bit of experience, whereas Tidehunter, if he walks up, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. Instead, he's stacking a ton. Wow. This stack is going to be very hard to clear, actually. He got another dragon spawn. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 stacks of ancients there. It's going to take him anywhere from 10 to 12 years to clear that. Now 3 heroes on the complexity side. Gonna put a little bit of damage on this tier 1 tower. Fortification already popping off to try to slow them down. But the creep wave is going to get killed relatively quickly. TC already with the phase boots, indicating he wants to be aggressive at this point in the game. He doesn't want to just sit there and AFK farm. And, well, the aggression is coming pretty strong. Very good play by the Gondar. Popping out that shuriken to draw the creep wave towards him. TC does have an extra bear though, so he's going to resummon that, and they can just sit here all day. Another creep wave is coming in. This tower is going to go down, but in the meantime, EHOME want to take a tower of their own. They do have 3 heroes of their own here, and they do have Enchantress creeps as well. Invoker looks like he actually went for a Wex build. That's actually kind of surprising considering he's on the top lane. Usually you see Wex on the mid, Exhort on the side. But I guess he just wants to get that mana burn. And wow, Lamb just took a huge hit from one swipe of Templar Assassin's Skyblades. Templar Assassin does so much damage with that refraction. It's ridiculous. Too bad I can't play her. Well, I mean, like, I can play her, but it's definitely not... I'm definitely not Jao. Looks like EHOME, they're not interested in stopping this with the creeps still alive. Well, the troll's going to go down soon. He's going to have a heart attack and die. Don't do it. They're leaving you behind. Oh. So he's going to have a heart attack and die, and that is going to mean that their push is stopped. They kind of need those Enchantress creeps there. They do have Venomancer. No, they don't have Venomancer wards. Only level 2. So no pushing coming out from that hero. But since they pushed down so far, that is going to mean Hannah Montana is going to finally get an opportunity for some experience. No creep kills though. That's what I would do right there, missing creep kills. But I'm just going to leave Hannah Montana to his own devices on the top lane, and we're going to check in with him in just a little bit. In the meantime, Jao still ahead of Lamb, but Lamb has caught up quite a bit. Jao is 3rd place as far as the gold goes, and Lamb is in 4th place, only 50 gold behind that. Fluff and Stuff is on the run from this Gondar. Bounty Hunter, I should stop calling him Gondar. He's not... Is that his name anymore? I don't even know. It might be his name in the lore or something like that. Now Lamb might be in a little bit of trouble. He does have his waveform. Ice Mike a little bit too far away to get that telekinesis off. So Lamb's going to survive for now. But while all this is happening, TC is just having a field day on this bot lane. 1,000 gold with phase boots and an extra boots of speed for his bear. So boots for everyone. You need 4 of them on the bear to get actually the full movement speed bonus. That's important to do in all of your games. Wow, the damage from a double damage Templar Assassin is insane. That range creep did not stand a chance, so this bear could get his relic extremely quickly. Already about 1/3 of a way there. And Jao's going to try to get the rune. It's going to spawn on the bot lane. It's going to be a haste. So So this bounty hunter is going to be even more of a nuisance unless he could like somehow get telekinesis up into the hill. There's this thunderstrike on him, and Ix Mike does telekinesis him. There goes the kinetic field, and Lamb is coming in with the waveform. He can go for Ix Mike. He is going to get him, but at what cost? He does have a haste rune as well. Morphling is going to get glimpsed back, but it's too late. Rubik is already dead. Fluffenstuff going to try to teleport himself out of there. Jo is here as well. Hannah Montana arrived as also. He's only level 2 though. He's going to try to burrow himself into the trees for some reason. I don't know why you're going to go there. You're dead, sir. Lamb still with that haste rune, thinking of going for the Templar Assassin, but with Templar Assassin with the phase boot, it's a little bit too fast, and Lamb not quite healthy enough to be confident about that dive. But EHOME taking a very early kill lead, as well as the towers are still even, so taking a very early kill lead, so they're going to be ahead as far as the gold and experience earned on the back of those 3 kills. The problem is though is that the important heroes from Complexity that need farm are getting farmed. Whether or not it's going to be enough to actually weather the storm of EHOME remains to be seen, of course, but Complexity are not out of this yet. I mean, it's only 9 minutes in the game, what am I saying, but this game is still relatively even, is what I'm trying to say, despite the fact that they're 3 kills down. Top lane now has been given to TC, and these Ancients are still here. That's a keep tabs on those Ancients, figure out when they're actually... Oh, QQQ getting glimpsed back into the kinetic field. He's just getting a right click down by Jo. There goes Enchantress, and King J, Lamb, and X are here. There goes Tornado. It is going to hit on Jo, as well as the trap, so not the best chain stun there, but Jo is going to try to get out of this refraction. Probably not going to be enough. There's Meld. Is there anything else? No more AoE, no mana on the... Oh, there you go, Waveform. Waveform dead. Templar Assassin did not see that one coming. Complexity got 1 kill but paid for it with her TA. Definitely not a trade that they wanted to take, and now Tidehunter might be in a little bit of trouble. There are 3 heroes here for EHOME. They could simply dive this tower, and Hannah Montana, I believe, got spotted out by that Serpent Ward. He's going to teleport out of there. This tower has pretty much been forfeited. They're going to hopefully get a retaliation tower on this top lane, but I don't know if TC could actually do enough damage to this tower. This tower is definitely going down. There's no way that Complexity can save that tower. But now they do have 3 heroes on the mid lane. Maybe gonna try to go for QQQ if they get a trap into a telekinesis. There goes the trap. Ix Mike does not have any boots though, so it might be hard for them to actually close that gap. Glimpse, QQQ back, telekinesis him back further, and there's the kinetic field. Not gonna actually trap him in, but it does block off an escape route. Doesn't matter though. 4 levels of the heal is more than enough to keep Enchantress alive. And that gank attempt has failed. The tower has gone down in the bot lane. And Hannah Montana is still only level 3. This game has not been kind to him at all. The Ancients are all still alive, so I guess, is it going to be the Bear going to take that? I don't know, maybe Jo with the Psyblades? It's going to be very odd to clear that camp. It's going to be difficult. But Hannah Montana is only level 4. He is going to get a lot of free experience down in this bot lane, though. They want this Tidehunter to hit level 6. Level 6 is a very important level for Tidehunter. That's when a boy Tidehunter becomes a man. Gets that Ravage off. And it doesn't really matter, well, I mean, like, it kind of does matter, but that is a pretty huge equalizer, that Ravage. If you get a 4 or 5 man Ravage, then it really will put the game, the fight at least, in your favor for a little bit. Of course, if you're really far behind, there goes Enchant onto Jo, dodging the Gale as well as the Tornado, and he's going to walk out of there alive. Failed to mention that Venomancer is a pretty good counter to TA, and Complexity picked TA knowing that Venomancer was on the other team, so Jo must be very confident in his Templar Assassin play, and from what I've seen so far, it looks like he's doing just fine against that Venomancer. He can't rely on his refraction as much because of those poison ticks. But anyway, EHOME gonna look towards a mid lane tower. Fluffenstuff and Ix Mike are both here. Do they have boots? Fluffenstuff and Ix Mike are both gonna get spotted out by Lamb. Gonna try to telekinesis him back. What has he stolen? He stole Replicate, not the spell he wanted. He wanted to steal either the Waveform or the Morph. Either one would have been good, but Replicate not the desirable spell at all. I guess you could have a ton of Morphlings running around this map. A lot of Morphlings. That would actually be kind of cool. But TC 12 minutes in, 800 away from his Relic. So Complexity are just pretty much biding time for that to happen. EHOME, they're farming pretty well as well. Morphling, 46 for 5. Still, just now overtook that TA, but the Lone Druid is very far in the lead as far as gold per minute goes. Kind of a standoff situation going to happen now. Smoke has been popped from the EHOME side. QQQ as well as X looking towards the top lane. I don't know if they have enough damage to kill TC by themselves. They're going to try, though. TC, you got to leave right now, bro. You gotta leave right now. He's gonna try to teleport out, but there is no adaptive strike, and tornado is not there. A little bit too late. This bear is very scared, but he's gonna get poof away. Not Meepo poof, just regular poof. And free tower, no death, win-win. And now TC has a relic, 13-minute relic, not bad at all. In the meantime, the rest of his allies were sitting down on this mid lane. Hannah Montana denied the tier 2 bottom lane, as well as got to almost level 6. He just needs a couple more creeps for that to happen, and that's what Complexity is waiting for. They don't want to fight until this Tide Hunter does have that Ravage, because once that happens, their fight just gets so much stronger. I don't know if it's exponentially stronger, but it sure feels like it. There's the Ravage on Hannah Montana. He's going to fall back. 1,000 gold in his pocket. Might get an Arcane Boots. He doesn't actually need Arcane Boots. The Tide Hunter does. The Tide Hunter doesn't, I guess, need Arcane Boots necessarily. But he does have that option. TC does have that relic and just going to continue farming all day long. The Ancient stack is still here for whoever wants it, I guess. TA now with the Blink Dagger. Hannah Montana with the Ravage. Complexity want a fight right now. They know that with those two achievements, I guess, with those two points of power, I don't know what to call that. With the item pickup, with the level pickup, they're very strong at this point, so they want to get a gank or at least a kill, or a kill or at least a gank. I don't know what the hell I'm saying anymore. All 5 of them are positioned in this mid lane. They're just going to barrel down this tower. EHOME, actually, you got to get back here, man, because there are angry big heroes here, and they want your tower. They're not going to stop until they get it. Teleportation has brought the Invoker back. He's going to have to land a good EMP if he actually wants to make good of this fight. Oh no, what are you doing here, Gondar? You are so dead, sir. Rubik picking up that kill. QQ might be in a little bit of trouble as well. Are there any slows left? No, they seem to burn them all on the Bounty Hunter. There is a one-hit entangle, though, on QQQ. He's going to take a lot of damage. There goes the Venom Edge ultimate from King J. Lanham is there as well. Hannah Montana popping off the Ravage X, taking a gush as well, but Lanham trying to get something done, but he's going to get telekinesis up and forced back. He's strength morphing, though, so he still has a lot of health, but the Venom Edge ultimate is wreaking havoc among the Complexity side. Lamb trying to go for this JO kill. He's going to wait for him, and he does pick up that kill. 2 down for Complexity. Yellow's teleported out of here, and TC still alive, still chasing for the bear, but I don't really feel like he could actually get anything accomplished right here, because all of EHOME are still alive. That fight definitely not going the way that Complexity wanted it to. The Ravage was there, only hitting 2, and even with no Bounty Hunter, the fight went sour. So not a good fight for Complexity at all. 2-6 is the advantage for EHOME. You see that Complexity kind of brought it back a little bit in the past 3-4 minutes. But that team fight, definitely not what they wanted at all, and that's going to set them back a little bit. They're still they're behind, but their bear almost has his radiance, or not really. He's 1,000 away, and if he gets ganked, he's going to be in Sad Town. He does have a little bit of backup, though, and by a little bit, I mean his entire frickin' team. So they're most likely going to hang TC out to dry. No, they're going to just go into their own jungle, look for someone to kill. Smoke is there, and there is JO going immediately for QQQ. Tornado going to fly out, slowing a lot of people from Complexity. Glimpse back is X, but that was not a good spot for it. JO is completely out of mana. He's going to try to bottle himself up with that Venomous Gale, preventing him from doing so. There goes the Gondar trying to run away, and that smoke completely wasted by Complexity. EHOME escaping there from that situation very well. And now Complexity want to push once again on this tier 1 mid of EHOME's. The Ravage is not up, though, so if they do that, most likely will mean their deaths. I mean, like, they didn't do that hot when the Ravage was there. When the Ravage isn't there, I can't really imagine how they're going to do. But in the last fight, I feel like Venomancer really was the MVP. Level 6 Venomancer only. Just barely got his Poison Nova, but level 1 Poison Nova at this stage of the game, that's a lot of freaking damage. That's a ton of damage. And did he get the stack? He didn't get the stack. Did he try to kill it? He didn't try to kill it either. He just was messing with it a little bit. I don't know. Maybe you gotta keep the Ancients from getting fat by running them around every once in a while. I really want to know what they're actually planning on doing with this, because they don't really have like a Beastmaster or a Battle Fury hero or something that could actually clear those very easily. Like TA could do it, Psyblades, but it's pretty difficult because there's a lot of damage there. I guess the plus for that is that EHOME doesn't really have any of those heroes either. They don't have a Beastmaster. They don't have a Cleaver, one who cleaves. So they can't really jack the creeps. So I guess that's a little bit of an advantage, or like a little bright side for them. Lots of movement now down to this bot lane. Rubik is tracked up though, so it's not going to be a surprise for EHOME. And run into a fake Venomancer and stuff. He's going to know that's a fake. He's going to turn around and fight it with lightning. Die, you vile illusion. And he's going to continue farming. TC still getting big, and he still is ahead of Lamb, but Lamb has recovered quite a bit from his little bit of a shaky mid experience. Picking up 402 helps quite a bit. Going to go for a fast BKB actually. It's going to help him a lot from the Ravage, but the physical damage coming out from Complexity is still pretty substantial. They do have the Lone Druid who's going to be hitting like an absolute truck, as well as the TA who already does hit like an absolute truck. So it's going to be a little bit rough for that Morphling no matter what build he goes, honestly. Tidehunter has picked up the Arcane Boots, so I was right, yay. And he's going to have a lot of mana to spam up those spells. But both teams seem to be content with just farming it up. EHOME roaming in packs, but then again, so is Complexity. And that Ogre didn't stand a chance. That Golem, not Ogre. Rubik doesn't have anything stolen, but they're looking towards the bot lane. Maybe just to clear the creep wave, get a little bit more gold out of that. The tower's already down, so it's like, what could you actually get out of this lane? They're not going to push the tier 2s just, willy-nilly. Morphling does have a BKB. They have to find out about that. It's not the most game-breaking of items, especially at this point in the game. Now Tornado, not going to hit. TC does have a Fake Bear following him, though. Glimpse back is X. Going to get himself out of there. Static Storm completely wasted. No kinetic field, no follow-up there for that Static Storm, so that ultimate is down. And Static Storm, although it could do some pretty high damage, the most important thing is that the Static Storm is a giant AoE silence. If you could land that on 2 or 3 people, following up with a Ravage, that's a lot of team fight right there, especially with the Radiance Burn going on the entire time. EHOME doesn't really have that team fight combination. I mean, like, they do have the Invoker, they do have the Venomancer ultimate, Poison Nova. I don't know why I say Venomous for all of Venomancer's spells, just because Venomous Gale. That's a bad habit I have, I guess. But the Venomancer ultimate is pretty good. But they're very much so an individual-based team. Morphling is going to just try to weather the storm throughout those fights. But the EHP that the BKB gives them is pretty much what TC has right now, simply by being Lone Druid. Going to try to pick up a Vlad sometime in the next 5 minutes, let's say. And the Ancients are still here. That's kind of boring. I would have expected they would have killed them by now, or tried, or at least shown what they're trying to do. But EHOME's going to try to go for Roshan. In the meantime, Bounty Hunter's stalking Complexity's Fluff and stuff. He's going to try to teleport out, but the Shuriken cancel and Fluff and stuff is in a ton of trouble, glimpsing him back, but he doesn't have any options right now. He doesn't have a teleport, and he's trapped himself in here with the Bounty Hunter. Bounty Hunter gets a free kill on the Support Disruptor. In the meantime, the rest of the team, Complexity is going to pop off the Ravage, hitting everyone. Everyone from EHOME is in a ton of trouble right now. King J is stuck. Lamb's going to force to pop off the BKB and get it out of there, but Rubik has stolen the Aegis of the Immortal. He's going to be happy about that. He's not dying anytime soon, but the Venomous Swords are still there. Cupid Cat, oh, you're in a horrible place there. The Radiance Burn taking him down. X trying to run away. The Morphling is still alive. They do take down that Tidehunter, but QQQ now is in a lot of trouble, getting wailed on by the bears. You're a friend of nature, but not a friend of this Lone Druid. The TA has gone down. I'd have to try to cancel off the teleportation. TC is going to go down as well. So EHOME with the buybacks. Wow, how many buybacks were actually spent there? A lot of buybacks. A lot of buybacks. So just 2 buybacks actually. That actually looked a lot worse than it was. Invoker, I guess he forced to staff himself out of that Ravage, but it looks like with that picture-perfect Ravage, you would expect the fight to go a little bit better in Complexity's favor. The fight did still favor them, but not crushingly. You would have expected it to go crushingly. Is crushingly even a word? You would you know what I mean. It's not. I'm not like crazy, right? It's you would have expected them to really dominate that fight instead of losing so many heroes at the tail end of it. But They did steal the Roshan. I wish I could see who actually got the Roshan kill for that golden experience. That might have played a factor, you know, giving someone some extra level or something. But the Rubik's jacked the Aegis. I'm sure the Morphling would have liked to have that. He's going to have to deal with it, though. That was a very good Ravage from Hannah Montana, almost at level 11. So once he gets those points of Ravage up, it gets even better and better. He also has a mech up. I personally am not a fan of a mech Tidehunter because, you know, usually you don't have that much mana. But if you're a pro player, you can make it work. Pressure now onto the tier 1 mid tower. Someone got glimpsed back. That was X. He's gonna have to walk all the way back. If TC wants to push down this, if Complexity want to push down this tower, then right now is a chance. But the Venomous, oh, god damn it, Plague Wards are here, so it's the Venomancer are making it very hard for them to actually make something happen. I think they suspect that the Bounty Hunter is around here. Jo is going to go farm some of the tiny camps. But there's a lot of invisibility going on here, and Jo might be in a little bit of trouble. He's completely spotted out. He has no idea, though. The bear is going to run through the jungle, not see anyone, because everyone's invisible, and bears have very bad eyesight. This bear does, at least. I actually don't know how bad bears' eyesight. Do bears have good eyes? How good are bears' eyes? I have no idea. I've never actually looked into that. Someone look into that. Research that. Write it down. Make it happen for science. Although it's not really science since we already know. Okay, I'm going to stop talking about bears and eyes right now. Anyway, both teams just going back to farming. Both teams are content to play a very safe style. Thunderstrike on the Bounty Hunter, forcing him away from that neutral camp. So, Furbolg champion, really an Ogre Mauler, really happy that he's alive. Now Lamb got ganked up a little bit by Alex, Mike, and TC. Popped off the 8-second charge and the 9-second charge on his BKB. Strength more the whole lot, and TA, wow, I did not expect that. Stop action everywhere. Venomancer goes down, and without those Plague Wards, they can push down this tier 1 tower. They finally get what they wanted. They do have the Ravage up, and no Plague Wards, no Poison Nova there. Tornado EMP does fly on through, hitting Hannah Montana, but he does have the Arcane Boots. Do they have any more Arcane Boots? No, they only have one set. I'm sure they would have liked to have more sets, but, you know, take what you get. There goes the tower. Disruptor picking up that one. They're not going to stop. Venomancer is still down. They know that there is no Fortress of Plague Wards coming anytime soon. They're just going to put a lot of hurt on this tower. Already down to half health. Wow, the demolition power of this team is enormous. The bear is going to run, bear. Run. He gets resummoned. But an easy tower for Complexity, and when did this get closed? When did that happen? I had it on buyback, and then where did it go? Did I press... How do you even cancel that? I don't even know how I did that. Anyway, Complexity getting a completely free tower. We're going to be happy about that. That is going to put the gold a little bit back towards them, but EHOME still with the advantage. But not by much, however. 26 minutes in, this advantage is by no means breaking at all. EXP is in the exact same place. Actually, that's kind of cool. So this game, Complexity is a little bit behind, but their Lone Druid is very, very big. Now with the Vlads and an extra 1,000 gold in the bank, you have the bear just farming by sitting there, which is the best kind of farming. And he's sitting in the lead by quite a bit. Templar Assassin not doing too bad for himself either. The only problem for Complexity is that all the farm is on these two heroes, which normally is good, but you kind of need a little bit of farm on your supporting cast as well. EXP per minute doing a little bit better as far as that goes. Gondar not having the highest experience levels at this point in time. Lamb is going to get stack storms. Well, the kinetic field, it completely whiffed though. He's going to pop that BKB and just turn around. 4-fluff and stuff. Might be in a little bit of trouble. Tornado is going to hit, and the fall not going to kill him, but the Morphling with the water balls is. There goes the teleportation out from the Lone Druid. Complexity's got a little bit overconfident, and they paid for it with their life. Now Gondar trying to go for something, but telekinesis is going to hold him and QQQ out. Tanager tracked up, but he's going to walk out of this. So one down for Complexity. 7-11 is the score as it stands. Oh no, they lost their ancient stack. Bounty Hunter taking a lot of damage from it though, but yeah, this ancient stack's gonna slowly get whittled down, and I don't think Complexity know about this. If they did, they sure would like to stop this, but unfortunately for them, this is gonna mean a huge amount of gold for EHOME. TA picked up BKB, whoopity frickin' do, but you lost a whole buttload of gold here. I don't know how much it was. Let's say it's like 200 per stack. I'm like, that's at least 800 gold. And wow, let's actually take a look at the gold graph in a little bit. We'll wait for that to update up. But that's a pretty big pot of gold that Complexity simply won't get anymore. Ix Mike with the waveform. He would still like the morph, but hell, waveform lets him do stuff like that. Morph to turn everything into strength, or you can turn everything into agility and then be a carry Rubik. I would not recommend it, but if you want to, go ahead. But this bear with the Hyperstone, as well as Radiance, as well as Demolish, is literally demolishing the tower. It's doing the Wrecking Ball thing. Unfortunately for the bear, support came for the tower a little bit too soon, and this tower is now deniable. There you go, King J. Get it. Get it. Get it. Plague Wards, are you really that lazy? Wow. Well played. But that's really lazy. Lamb might be in a little bit of trouble. Jo blinking in. Waveform in from Ix Mike, trying to get telekinesis off. They do get it, as well as the glimpse. Might be a little bit of miscommunication there. BKB have been popped by everyone. Lamb, there goes the Ravage, hitting onto 3 of the EHOME side. There goes the Morphling. Morphling is out of this fight. X is going to force stab himself away. Static Storm completely missing. The chasing power now from Complexity shows itself. QQQ is trying to make a run for it. Hannah Montana, unfortunately, out of mana. The Sonic Trap completely misses, but the blink in from Jo is enough to kill the Enchantress Cupid Cat. Now raised up into the air by the Rubik, and he's getting taken down by a Fade Bolt. 3 down for EHOME, 0 down for Complexity. Roshan is 2 minutes away from revival, so they can't follow it up with that, but I'm sure they could pressure the high ground. They still have another 30 seconds. Unfortunately, the Creeper is right here. I thought the Creeper was down here, but no, they could just pressure this. Invoker is a pretty good hero at defending your high ground because of stuff like this, Ice Wall, Meteor, all that jazz. But a waveform and into a telekinesis onto King J is going to mean the Venomancer is down. That means no Plague Wards set up for this fight, no Fortress of Wards, and there's still another 5 seconds before the Enchantress and Gondar both come up. This Ract is going to go down. TC does simply too much damage to for these Racts to survive. Psionic Traps constantly preventing the Invoker from getting the mobility he needs. The range, the melee Racts have gone down, and they're going to be happy with that pick as well. They should be. The gold advantage should reflect, yes. There you go, almost a 2,000 advantage for them, almost well, I guess close to 1,000 in the experience. That fight just went so picture perfect from Complexity. Hannah Montana positioning himself, moving. I still can't draw on this, god damn it. But positioning himself upwards on the fight and hitting the Ravage simply to keep them away from their Morphling. If they were there to support the Morphling would have had increased chance of survival, but he went down extremely early without doing a whole lot of damage, and the rest of his team was simply chased down from there. So Complexity managing to take a very good fight and turn that into 1 barracks. My mic is all it's tangled. There we go. They turned it into a pretty sizable lead. That means that the wave will continue to push on the bot lane. Not over yet for EHOME though. They could still get back into it with the track gold bonus, as well as the pretty farm Morphling that they have. Most EXP per minute on the map right now. Actually go back to gold per minute, see what that's looks. It looks pretty much the same. But both teams looking to spot off this Roshan, who just spawned. And TC with the Vlads could pretty much solo it. That does let the rest of his team sit on the outskirts, because this area right here is a pretty bad death trap. You don't want to go in there if you could avoid it. But this Roshan's going down extremely quickly between the meld, between the gush. This Roshan is toast. Lone Druid now has 2 lives. And EHOME, X is going to get revealed off. He's going to try to get in, the TC's going to try to get the Entangle. There goes the Psionic Trap. He does get the Entangle, but the Force Staff happens before that. TC now gets hexed up. Telekinesis is going to stun the Gondar and Static Storm. There goes the Ravage. There goes the Static Storm to follow off, preventing QQQ from casting anything. Morphling picking up 1 kill, and Enchantress picking up another. This fight not going as well for Complexity as the last one, but the bear has now arrived, going to wail onto QQQ. So much burst damage from that TA. TC is still on the run, though. He does have his Aegis, but he doesn't want to lose it now. He wants to hold on to it for as long as possible. There goes the Aegis, though. Nothing you can do about that, but the Spirit Bear is still here. Didn't do as much damage as he can before the Lone Druid revives, but he's completely surrounded by EHOME team members. He's going to try to teleport out, but it doesn't look like he's going to have enough time. I think it also got interrupted by Adaptive Strike or something. And that is going to be a very ugly fight for Complexity. As I said, EHOME not out of it yet. They're going to push down on the mid lane. They're going to get this tier 2 pretty much guaranteed, but in the meantime, their range racks are going to fall. That's such a bad mislabeling. This is a melee racks. That's not true at all. But anyway, the tier 2 has gone down. The racks is probably going to fall. They're forced to pop up the fortification. Lamb is going to save his racks for now. But the creep wave is pretty substantial. He's going to take a... like, he's struggling a lot to keep up with this creep wave. But here comes QQ with the untouchable, and he's just going to tank that up for his friend. Lone Druid now very close to his Assault Cuirass, which will just help Complexity so much in their pushing. But also with their kind of minus armor thing that they kind of got going on with the Gush and the Meld. It's a lot of minus armor, and if you could land it on someone like Enchantress, who's very soft to begin with, she's going to be an unhappy town. But Complexity, with that bad fight, the gold graph peaked out and then leveled back down to 0. Experience kind of following the same trend, but unfortunately for Complexity dipping back into EHOME's favor. Just is a matter of positioning at this point. If Complexity gets a good Ravage, if they get good Psyblade lineup, if they get a good Static Storm, Glimpse, all that, if it works out, they can take a fight. If EHOME just don't mess up, then they can take a fight. And there's the Replicate once again. There's the Morphling fighting a Morphling. How often do you see that? Actually, quite a lot considering Illusion Heroes, but yeah, whatever. But EHOME, with their lack of really big teamfight skills, and their but despite that, their constant ability to take teamfights, that means that they have a lot more leeway because they're single target focused. It's a lot easier to actually pull off your team fight. Whereas when you have a Ravage and you whiff it, then you're pretty much screwed. The same goes for like the disruptor spells. But EHOME, like Invoker has pressure to miss, but Morphling, like if you miss a waveform, your right clicks are more than enough. Bounty Hunter, it's impossible to miss anything. So EHOME just has to make sure that they don't get caught out of position. Complexity are going to look for an out of position EHOME player. They're going to find a Morphling Replicate. They know it's fake though, and that trap I don't think was seen. So this smoke looks like it's not going to yield anything. They're going to break it. Try to get a little bit more farm, but will the next fight happen in the jungle? If that does happen, then EHOME most likely is going to cluster up for Tidehunter's ultimate. And if 2 or 3 get hit by that, then it's going to be very bad for them. But the Assault Cuirass is now up on the bear. So everyone from Complexity just got a little bit stronger, and EHOME a little bit weaker with this new item pickup. This tower, just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh no, Invoker denied it. I feel like that last hit did a little bit less damage than the other ones, but that's not the case. Nonetheless, that was a good play by the Invoker, and kind of unlucky for Complexity. I mean, like it looked like it was going to take 5, but the bear faltered. He didn't want to lower his paw as hard as he did before, and that Wildskin did not see what was coming. They want to get rid of this Replicate because they do not want to get spotted out, but it just times out. And they're now going to go back to the mid lane. Lamb forced to come back to the bot lane. 3,600 gold on him, so he's fairly wealthy. Unfortunately for him, the bounty has been reduced on these melee creeps down to 21. And Complexity just maintaining their map mobility. They have pretty much complete map control with that Rax pickup. But they really, I mean, like half a Rax, or half a set of Rax, I should say, is an advantage, but it's definitely not final. I mean, like, I've definitely seen people come back from worse, especially considering how solid of a team EHOME is. They're more than capable of recovering from that one Rax loss. But not TC, what the hell am I saying? Complexity, kind of known for being very cautious and very careful, and very methodical about how they approach things. Most likely not going to dive in and get themselves all killed. Unfortunately, since EHOME is kind of the same way, that means there's probably not going to be anything happening for the next 10 minutes. Both teams kind of posturing near the mid lane. You can tell Complexity kind of want to fight, but they would rather get a pick off first. EHOME just simply defending. Sheepstick now up on Invoker. Invoker 0-0-9. Wow, that's such a weird score to see on anyone, really. 0 kills, 0 deaths, but 9 assists. I mean, like, he must be feeling like he's just got screwed out of so many kills. Now here we might have the engagement right now. Psionic Trap gonna catch QQQ. Is TC gonna actually engage on this? Tracks are there, and there goes the replicate. Glimpse back is QQQ, and QQQ is going to get bursted down so fast. Pops the Ghost Scepter, trying to keep himself alive. Gets forced out as well. There goes the King J ultimate, Venomancer ultimate. Ravage now onto only 3. No, yeah, it was on 3, so that was actually a pretty good ultimate. Dust now up, but the Disruptor gets instantly annihilated. 1 down from each team so far. The Bears looking for that Gondar. Gondar is still surviving somehow. Telekinesis now onto the Gondar. He's going to take him down. Lamb is in the middle of a whole bunch of heroes he does not want to be in the middle of. Another Psionic Trap going to go down in the Radiance Burn. Going to do so much damage. X is now in a little bit of danger. He's going to force to pop off his Ghost Scepter and Tornado to try to get away, but another Psionic Trap going to follow up. King J might be the one in trouble. Pop off the Ghost Scepter of his own. And actually, they all get out of that somehow. Is there going to be entangle? Yes, first in the entangle on Lamb, but he gets the waveform off regardless. King J is still taking Radiance Burn damage. 4 stats out by his ally. Ice Wall as well. Gush going to go down onto Lamb, but this Bear is now going to get resummoned, so it's not dead quite yet, but that is 120 seconds that they do not have that extra Bear. X, oh, you're going to get entangled. X, he's going to Hex the Bear so he does not get entangled, but that isn't going to be enough. He pops his Ghost Scepter one more time, and they're unable to do enough damage. Invoker actually picking up Rubik from that tornado. I don't think that was deliberate. That was mostly a safety tornado, but he ended up getting a kill anyway. Now Deafening Blast happening onto TC. TC is completely surrounded by EHOME players, but here comes Jo, one hit killing that Invoker, and he's going to try to get out of this. He is going to get out of this, but they did Complexity did lose the Lone Druid, and now Jo might be in a little bit of trouble. There goes the Replicate from Lamb. Jo's going to lay down the trap, but it's not going to hit. Actually, it is going to hit. Jo's still on the run. He's going to try to blink away. He does have a lot of mobility and a lot of counter mobility from these traps. So the fight, wow, that was pretty intense, but the fight was pretty much even, I have to say. Complexity did get a little bit of gold and experience advantage because of that, because of the tower. I feel like they did get a couple more kills, but EHOME held. They, with only 3 heroes, they held the high ground, prevented really any damage from happening to that tier 3 tower. And Complexity kind of overstayed their welcome by just a little bit. But Templar Assassin managed to get out alive, which is a very important fact. Lone Druid unfortunately did go down, but he will have his bear by the time he gets revived. And I'm completely wrong, because the action would happen in 3 minutes, not 10 minutes, as I said before. But this game looking so very even. Both these teams just playing so well. But if Complexity manages to keep taking these fights, even if they're just in winning the fights by a little bit, then they'll be okay. If I'm like assuming the Lone Druid and TA don't really die, and assuming the Morphling and Invoker don't really die, then Complexity will continue to get ahead because the bounty is reduced on the bot lane, and the creep equilibrium is in favor of them as well. Roshan is now going to get revived, and TC is just going to go to town on it. King J is going to lay down a Plague Ward. He's going to spot that out completely. So Complexity knows that they're being watched, but they seem to be confident about it anyway. You don't want to line up in this pit area for the Invoker. It looks like they want to risk it. They do have a level 2 Ravage up and available. Roshan's now taking a lot of minus armor there, but there's the entirety of the EHOME. Huge impetus damage already onto Rubik. There goes Hannah Montana. Is he going to pop up his Ravage? He's going to get Cycloned up, and he's going to have an opportunity for Ravage, but he gets hexed immediately. Kraken Shell's going to dispel that. There goes Ravage, only hitting on King J. Lone Druid has picked up the Aegis of the Immortal, but Ix Mike is in the back end of play. He's taking a lot of damage from the poison, though. He is going to go down, and TC is still here with the Radiance, and Jo is, more importantly, here with the damage, but he is completely surrounded. He's taking a lot of damage. Is that the cheese that he just ate? I don't know if that was the third incarnation of Roshan, but Jo, slowed down by the Ice Wall, is going to meld, and he is spotted out. However, TC can teleport out of there, and that fight did not go well for Complexity at all. They tried to go for the Bounty Hunter. They did not get him, just barely. He escaped with his life. And Complexity, well, they started off the fight kind of crippled by that Rubik. You got one impetus, and that's pretty much one more impetus than you want to take. Their TA did end up going down. They do have buyback on her, and the Lone Druid is still alive, and he does have 2 bears up in just a little bit. Looks like it's going to be Lamb has a replicate. Yes, he does have a replicate, so it's going to be Gondar defending the bot lane against the inevitable push. But now here comes the counter push from EHOME, looking to take a mid-Rax Alacrity onto the Morphling, trying to bring down this tower as fast as he can. The bear is just going to dive in. Thunderstrike as well, trying to bring off the creep wave. Bring the creep wave off the tower, but the bear is initiated. He's going to look for an entangle. Is he going to get it? No. Glimpse back, though, onto QQQ. Forced to pop off the Ghost Scepter. Gets telekinesed up, out into the air. No, he actually gets force-tapped out. So much support play coming out from EHOME. QQQ looked pretty dead. QQQ. It's hard to actually say that 3 times fast. Looked pretty dead. Oh, no, the Rax. He's going to go for the catapult. He is going to save it. Is he going to save it? Oh my god, X, you are an absolute beast, saving the ranged Rax. I mean, like, it's not that huge a deal, but he saved the ranged Rax. That's by killing the catapult. Good identification by X. Complexity, they're now back. The score sits at 17 to 21. The gold advantage is 0. The experience advantage, 2,000 in favor of EHOME. But at this point, positioning is way more important than any sort of gold or experience advantage. And Adaptive Strike is probably the worst spell for Rubik to steal ever, because it doesn't do anything for him. He's going to take Track. Now that's a good one. If you could track up the enemy team, you can just spot out their movements. Unfortunately, he's kind of revealing his entire team right there, but hell, that's the pain of playing against a bounty hunter. Track now onto X. Tornado is going to hit on the Rubik, and he gets hexed up as well. Are they going to go in on this? Yes, waveform in from the Morphling, going to pop off his BKB, but here's the massive fight. Lamb taking so much damage from this Lone Druid, but he's simply kiting too well. There goes Ravage, only hitting on QQQ, and he does have his heal up, so he's not going to take that much damage. TC wants to get this Morphling. He's going to get glimpsed back. Yes, he is, and Jo is here. There goes one hit, but it actually gets dodged by the waveform. Jo's taking a lot of damage now. TC trying to get into the middle of things, but he's simply too slow. That's the problem with Lone Druid. You can't really get in close all the time. He's very easy to kite. Going to try to go for Lamb, but he's very survivable. He's going to waveform right back around onto Hannah Montana. TC is getting kited to hell and back, and he's going to pay for it with his life. It looks like the Radiance damage doing even damage to everyone. King J does go down, but TC takes the fall as well. He does still have that Aegis, and X is going to force to pop out his Tornado to just try to get the bear off of him, but TC is now in his weakest form, and he's going to get right-clicked down by the entirety of EHOME, and he is going to go down, not before taking out the bounty hunter, not before taking out one more. He's going to get one more. He's life-stealing as much as he can, but no, everyone from EHOME is so weak, and that is such a huge problem with picking up the Lone Druid, is that he cannot stick to targets at all. It's completely dependent on how many entangles that his bear gets. In that case, he simply did not get enough. The fight did not go up for complexity. That could have gone so much better. Again, positioning. The Ravage wasn't the best. And, well, 3 people escaping at like 200 health, that is one of the worst ways to lose a fight, because you know that you were just so close, but just if things went just a little bit differently, you would have had that fight. You would have had a set of Raxes, and more than likely, you would have had the game. The bright side for complexity is this. Is this complexities? No. No. Oh, we got the gem. Huh. I didn't realize that EHOME forgot about the gem. I guess they were all weak, so weak that they're just like, oh, we just gotta go back and heal, and then complexity just sneaks in their lizard blimp, and picks up the gem. Okay. Anyway, as I was saying, the bright side for complexity is that the ranged Rax finally has gone down. So that is going to lower the bounty for those range creeps and push down that lane faster and faster. Though complexity, they really have to take a dominating team fight if they want to win this. And, well, so does EHOME. Whoever wins the team fight in dominating fashion will... What the hell? That's not right. Well, yeah, the flags are right. Whoever wins a team fight in dominating fashion will win the game. At this point in the game, one team fight is really all that matters. However, complexity, they have a little bit of a disadvantage as far as that goes, because they're kind of reliant on the Ravage to win team fights. And if EHOME just buy back, then, well, you don't have a Ravage. And EHOME, not really reliant on those big, long cooldown spells. so they could be effective whether or not they have whether or not the enemy team have bought back. They could just keep on trucking. Jayo's now going to clear out some H's. He's doing some pretty good damage, but he's simply a little bit, he's just too soft. I think I used the word simply too much. Let's stop doing that. Note to self. And Lone Druid, Belt of Giant Strength. What could that possibly be? Do you have tread? Do you have level 2 boots? Oh, he's going for treads on his bear. Movement speed will help. The attack speed will definitely help. But it's going to be a Skull Basher. Okay. Makes a little bit more sense. Surprised he actually still does have boots of speed. Regular on his Spirit Bear. But this game is just so darn close. The gold advantage is in favor of EHOME, as is the experience advantage, but complexity, they still have a pretty large window of opportunity to make things happen. The Skull Basher, they could hopefully keep the Spirit Bear on its targets, hopefully get some more entangles off, and then hopefully TC could actually kill people instead of just weakening everyone. Now the Basher is up on the Spirit Bear. I don't know if he's actually going to go for an Abyssal Blade. Probably not, considering you need to also buy a booster of some sort to get the mana for it. But Templar Assassin does have crit, and now we have a 5-man smoke for complexity. I don't think they're actually going to find anyone because all EHOME are chilling in their base. And the big melee creeps, big range creeps on the bottom lane are pushing in slowly but surely. They're looking for a pick. They're not going to find anyone though. EHOME, they know what's up. They're not going to get caught off guard. Not a chance. You can't really catch a Chinese team off guard. It just doesn't happen. Unless it's going to happen right now and I spoke too soon. Lamb's going to force to pop off his 5/6 BKB. There goes the kinetic field onto Lamb, as well as Static Storm on a couple of them. Jayo's going to blink and mess up his meld, however. Morphling instantly taking out that Rubik. Jayo's going to try to go for QQQ, but King J getting a pretty big Venomancer ultimate off. TC is going to get worked down by Lamb. There goes the Ravage now. Only hit on 3, actually. That was pretty good. There goes the Gondar by the Jayo, and QQQ is the next to fall. Did I just say the Jayo? TC now fighting toe-to-toe with Lamb. King J and X are still alive, so the supporting cast from Lamb is there, but Lamb is going to try to just take the entire team. Tornado going to take out all of Complexity's heroes, and they're just going to crumble after this. TC, you need to lifesteal, but Hannah Montana is the only one left. Invoker is the only one left as well. Is Hannah Montana able to do this? The Invoker most likely is going to have the upper hand here. Yes, Complexity, Hannah Montana, you got to get out of there. Cold Snap, no disables there. And wow, a 4-for-4 fight. Buybacks from the Morphling forced out. And Lone Druid doesn't have buyback. Complexity doesn't have buyback. Where's Morphling? There's Morphling. They could push down this tier 3 tower. Rubik is still up, level 15, so he could send out some Fade Bolts and try to slow them down. And Tidehunter's up as well, level 18. But they can't actually get a kill here. Hannah Montana now hexed up, taking a lot of damage and slowed from the Scotty. Cold Snap popped as well. Waveform blocked mostly by the pipe, but Hannah Montana does go down. Kinetic Field has been put up, but they need to fortify right now. They do fortify. Lamb gets stuck against that kinetic field, but he's just standing his ground with that strike. More Static Storm now and a telekinesis as well. Lamb taking a lot of damage there, but popped off his BKB. Gonna go waveform in for fluff and stuff. That, oh my god, that Adapt Strike did so much damage. Ix Mike with the waveform and Fade Ball taking out the Invoker. Morphling gets out of there, but they lose the tier 3 tower. Not that a big deal. They actually managed to defend a lot better than I expected. Rubik with that magical burst damage doing a lot of work. Invoker buying back into the game. And wow, this game is still not in anyone's reach. EHOME is taking better and better fights though. But at this point in the game, it doesn't really matter. Because Complexity they have the damage, they have the lockdown that they need to actually take a fight. EHOME, they have the damage, they have the lockdown to take a fight. Once again, it all comes down to positioning. And honestly, the burden of that goes mostly onto Hannah Montana. The fight will be won or lost depending on how well his Ravages go. Of course, the Invoker, if he lands a good Deafening Blast, well, that was Assault Cuirass, that's awesome. A good Deafening Blast could be game-changing. If he hits Jayo as well as TC with that Deafening Blast, Well, Complexity is going to be in a ton of trouble. Oh no, they see him, there goes the Gale, onto 2, there goes the Tornado as well, only catching the lone Druid. QQ is going to try to get out of there, but Disruptor instantly gets picked off, and now TC is trying to catch up to someone. There goes the Ravage hitting QQ and Lamb. QQ is going to get right click down. Jo is not attacking, however, because of that Ghost Scepter. There goes the Rubik, and Lamb is just holding his ground. TC is unable to attack anyone because of that Ice Wall. He's trying to run away, but he gets adapted, struck down. He's still alive, but he's not going to be for long, and there goes the entirety of Complexity. Wow, EHOME just taking a dominating fight. They're going to push in the mid lane. And do you have buyback, Complexity? No, you don't have buyback. I think that might be game. EHOME just playing so damn well. That fight was absolutely flawless, picking off the Disruptor before he could get anything off. And now these Raxes are in a lot of trouble. Top lane is also conveniently for them pushing in with a huge creep wave. I don't even think they have to help this. They could just let this creep wave do its own job. Of course, they are going to help it because that's what you're supposed to do. But with no buybacks for Complexity, EHOME, what looked to be disastrous for them, you could see their base is completely carved in. They're going to end up taking this game. There goes one Rax in the mid lane. There goes 2 on the bot lane. They could even tank down this tower. And there goes the GG call by from TC. Beautiful game by EHOME. So slow, so patient, and just slowly getting further and further ahead until it all culminates in that one devastating team fight that Complexity simply could not fight on even footing. So EHOME will win this game. Thanks for watching, guys. This has been Complexity versus EHOME from the preliminaries of the International 2. I will try to get some Star Ladder games up, but the ticket right now is broken for some reason, so I don't know what's happening there. But I'll try to get those up soon, and in the meantime, I'm staying sharp with these games. And I believe that's it. So that is that it? I believe that's it. Yeah. GG, guys. Dire victory. Oh, sorry. I cut the thing and then the score screen. There you go. Score screen, in case anyone is interested.